Good morning, friends, followers, and fellow book lovers. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this morning about keeping commitments, and it really came home to me because this week my wife and my son have a scheduling conflict, and the reason that is because my wife is traveling and is going to be gone at this particular time when my son scheduled something that we would both like to be at. Now, the conflict arises because my son had made a commitment to do this one thing before the end of the month of June. And it just so happened that in scheduling, I should correct that. He may not have looked at the calendar when he initially scheduled that, or he may have gone ahead and scheduled it because that was the available time to meet with this other individual. They then he couldn't move it because of his commitment. And my wife is going to be out of town, and it's a trip that she's been planning for some time now. So she's not like she can just move that. So the idea is not the conflict. The idea is that we as men and women should be people of integrity and character. And when we give our word for something, when we make a commitment, that we stand by that. We keep that commitment. And sometimes that's really hard. Sometimes it's very challenging to make and keep a commitment because of some other circumstances that may apply, like in this situation, where if my son hadn't committed to get it done by the end of the month, and maybe he committed to get it done by the end of the summer, then that would be a different thing entirely, and it's something that could be changed. Myself personally, I am very, very careful because when I use the words I will, I commit, this will get done, those are all commitment words from me when I'm speaking to someone else. And I really try not to use those, unless I'm going to commit, knowing my schedule, knowing what's going on, to not commit to something unless I know I can accomplish that work. Or if everything looks okay, then commit to that time frame. And sometimes things do need to move, and sometimes it's just the way it is. And I would encourage each one of you to think about that for yourself. Do you do the things you say you're going to do? Do you keep those commitments that you make? I'm not your judge. I'm just a reminder. And I find that the more we act with integrity, the more we keep the commitments that we make, the better opportunity we have in positively influencing other people, because they see that we do what we say. That we'll do what we say, and that we keep our word. There's a great story from many years ago where a son took his father's plow to the blacksmith to be sharpened. And the son put off picking the plow back up because his dad hadn't given him money to pay the blacksmith. And so the last day before the father returns home from his trip, the son goes to pick up the plow. And he goes in and he says to the blacksmith, "I apologize. My dad didn't give me money to pay for the work." He's like, "That's okay. Your dad's a man of his word." And he left that with such lightheartedness and like encouragement because, I'm yawning this morning, because the blacksmith knew that the father was a man of his word, and the burden of the payment was taken off of the son's shoulders because the father was a man of his word. Now, I love this story because it shows that when you're in a community and you've built trust, that those you build trust with will give you a little bit of freedom when it comes to things like making this payment or taking your word for something. And in my personal life, I greatly value those who trust me and that I can trust, because that word, that keeping that commitment, is huge at building a strong and resilient community. All right, my friends, thank you for spending time with me. I hope you get value from this video. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Iron Will out.